Today's question is about building referral relationships, and I'm just going to guess that if you're not in real estate, there's some kind of corollary to the business that you're in. So just stick with me and see if any of this applies. And if it doesn't, then you can ask your own questions in the comments for later. And so what I will tell you is that if you are a realtor looking to build referral relationships, or even a loan officer or lender, think about what you bring to the table, because too often we look at these as a one-way street of we want to receive something instead of what we give. What you give should be as valuable as what you receive, if not more so, because we all know the adage of if you give, you shall receive. Now, let's think about what that means in real estate. I'm in Concord, North Carolina. We just landed Eli Lilly's latest pharmaceutical manufacturing plant. That means as a realtor, I need to know where their folks will be coming from so that I know where my future buyers are coming from as a mindset, and I also can build a relationship with the pros in that market. Because should I encounter somebody over at the Cabarrus Country Club that is moving here with Eli Lilly and they say, what can you tell me about the real estate market? I can intelligently talk about Concord, but in relation to their originating zip code. And then they might even ask me, well, what's happening in my zip code? Because I'm going to drop so many gems of knowledge. It is my responsibility as a realtor to know somebody everywhere who is knowledgeable, competent, ethical, and is going to do a great real estate job, because frankly, I'm not the only good realtor out there, and I want to know who's out there doing the business better than I am so that A, I can learn, and B, I can make these connections for the neighbors that I serve. So wherever you are, you should know the zip codes that export and import into your zip code. A great place to go for that data is the U.S. Census. If you go to Census.gov, you can find a ridiculous amount of data sets, and they're relatively current because the current data is fresh. We just finished the last census. And of course, it's not perfect information, but it's better than what we have from almost any other source because it is so far-reaching and broad-based. Now that I know what zip codes are importing and exporting to Concord, to Harrisburg, to Kannapolis, to Charlotte, to the cities that I serve most closely, I can then reach out to realtors in those markets and find out who's doing business, who's doing it well. And y'all, one place that I look for that is the CRS network. Realtors who are certified residential specialists have invested in their real estate business through education. They are turning enough transactions to have qualified for this highly achieved designation. So I know they've actually closed business. And now I've got a starting point. The next thing I'm going to evaluate is, are they involved with political advocacy wherever they are? Now, you're thinking, oh God, Leigh, no, not politics. Right, I'm not talking about R's and D's. I'm talking about the very not sexy topics of property taxes and zoning and permits and regulations and the things that impact our neighbors from a political standpoint through the lens of real estate. I want to be engaged with realtors who understand that, because that means they are out there doing something bigger than just putting a sign in a yard. And this is going to be the best possible realtor to connect my neighbors with, because it's somebody with a holistic viewpoint of real estate. That's where you really go building these relationships. And if you are not yet a CRS, you can go to CRS.com and look at the classes. Ask me, I'll tell you which ones are good. You could also get involved in the networking events that are put on, because then you will meet other highly engaged professionals who want to deliver excellence through real estate. If you want to get involved with the political advocacy piece, that's at your local realtor association, which isn't just where the MLS is managed. It's also a community of professionals who are out here trying to make real estate active and vibrant so that we can protect and preserve the American dream. Now, if you never wanted to volunteer before because you didn't see a benefit, I'm going to challenge you to go sign up for something. Go find out what's happening behind the scenes, because often the things that happen behind the scenes are best kept there, because if they get to the forefront, they could change our business forever. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean people that are basically busybodies that want to ruin real estate. I'll not have it. And so I want to make sure I'm hanging out with other people who are engaged in that. And then I'll even build referrals for my market. I'll serve my clients better with a bigger picture viewpoint. And friends, that's what it means to be an all-in realtor. I'll see you next time.